Jaxson Dart locked into the Saints at 9 for me right now. Think about, hey, he went west with USC to the SEC, right? Bo Nix went SEC out west to Oregon. I think when you look at Jaxson Dart, the improvement, completion percentage up every year, okay? Interceptions down, and he maintained that at 5.6. Completion percentage up every year. Touchdowns up every year. Jaxson Dart with his legs, 1,500 rushing yards the last 3 years, okay? 8 rushing touchdowns 2 years ago. That's the underrated part of Jaxson Dart's game. This is an NFC now, adding Jaden and Caleb, Michael Penix Jr., the division with Penix Jr., and 2 number ones overall, Baker and Bryce Young. And now you get Jaxson Dart. You got to keep up with the division, Greeny. The Saints, you get new coach, new quarterback coming in together.
Pump the brakes, Mel Kiper Jr. Stop making it seem like Jaxson Dart is the second coming of Patrick Mahomes or something like that. In all seriousness, though, the hype train on Jaxson Dart has hit an all-time high. This is Sports Guy talking that you guys are watching and listening to. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to talk about what NFL scouts aren't telling you about Jaxson Dart. As of right now, Jaxson Dart is projected to be a first-round draft pick in the 2025 NFL draft class. However, Jaxson Dart is considered to be an extremely raw quarterback at the current moment. Before I say anything else, though, I want to present you guys with a topic question. So, here it is. Will Jaxson Dart end up becoming a star at the NFL level? No, Jaxson Dart will not become a star at the NFL level. In terms of where I scale Jaxson Dart among star, starter, backup, or bust, I'm going to say that Jaxson Dart fits somewhere between the starter to backup mold. Am I saying that Jaxson Dart is a scrub? No, but I believe that Jaxson Dart is getting the benefit of the doubt because it is a weak quarterback draft class. If Jaxson Dart had entered in last year's draft class, most people would be looking at Jaxson Dart as a day 3 pick. Jaxson Dart played in an extremely simplified offense at Ole Miss. Also, Jaxson Dart holds on to the football too long. When pressure comes to Jaxson Dart's face, he doesn't know how to get rid of the football quickly. Jaxson Dart at the NFL level will be one of the most sacked quarterbacks if he does not fix what is in his football IQ right now. I'm not saying Jaxson Dart is a stupid quarterback, but what I am saying about Jaxson Dart is that he needs to speed up his football processing speed a little bit, because we all know that in the NFL, you need to have the ability to get rid of the football in 2.5 seconds. If you don't have the ability to get rid of the football in 2.5 seconds, you are more than likely getting sacked more often than not. That's why a guy like Sam Howell has led the NFL in sacks. He led the NFL in sacks with 65. Speaking of Sam Howell, I actually want to talk about player comparisons for Jaxson Dart, and Sam Howell's name came up on my mind when I thought about floor for Jaxson Dart. Worst case scenario, I believe Jaxson Dart is going to be a Sam Howell type of ball player. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Sam Howell led the NFL in passing for 2/3 of the season. Obviously, you guys know that I'm a huge Sam Howell fan. I know his dad. I worked for his dad last summer. He's a great dude, knows a lot about football. Obviously, Sam Howell eats, sleeps, and drinks football. I hope that his NFL career works out for the best. Right now, he's a backup quarterback on the Seahawks, but it's pretty clear that Sam Howell's game never really developed into becoming a star at the NFL level. So I'm going to say Jaxson Dart's floor is Sam Howell. In terms of middle ground, I'm going to say that his middle ground is Gardner Minshew, because obviously Gardner Minshew has elite vibes. Gardner Minshew is also an accurate quarterback as well. Same thing for Jaxson Dart, but we also know that Gardner Minshew has limitations as a starting quarterback. He just doesn't have the physical capabilities of being a full-time NFL starting quarterback. I'm going to say the same thing for Jaxson Dart as well. Jaxson Dart is a little undersized for my liking. I would like to see Jaxson Dart be able to get a little bit bigger, but overall, not a terrible thing to have. It's just that Gardner Minshew has been jumping around from team to team. I could see something like that happening to Jaxson Dart. And as for ceiling, how about Jay Cutler? I'm saying Jaxson Dart's ceiling is Jay Cutler, because obviously those two guys both have rockets for arms. They both have underrated athleticism, but they both will not be able to reach their full potential at the NFL level. In the case of Jay Cutler, it was more like he got the money, then he stopped caring about football. In the case of Jaxson Dart, I just think he has way too many physical limitations in terms of size in order to be able to succeed at the NFL level. He also doesn't really have the football IQ to play in a pro-style offense. He has to play in an RPO dependent system. Can that be done? Absolutely. But can you win a championship with Jaxson Dart as your star quarterback? Probably not. I also want to show you guys this clip of Mike Tannebaum hyping up Jaxson Dart. He says Jaxson Dart and Sean McVay would be a match made in heaven. I found his takes rather interesting. Roll the film.
Look, here's why. And again, I'm not comparing Jaxson Dart to Patrick Mahomes with the statement, but if you go back a couple of years ago with Kansas City, they went to the playoffs with Alex Smith, and opportunistically they traded up for Patrick Mahomes. The rest is history. If I am the Rams, they have done a great job with all that great young talent on defense. If we, the four of us, were running the Rams, we have to assume that Matt Stafford is a year-to-year proposition. If you can get Jaxson Dart, who led the NCAA in yards per pass attempt, which tells me he gets the ball down the field, as we're looking at here, he has great upside. And you could pair Jaxson Dart on a rookie contract, guys, with Sean McVay, sign me up.
Well, that's definitely an interesting analogy to make for sure, Mike Tannebaum. The Los Angeles Rams right now already have Matthew Stafford in the quarterback room. They also already have Jimmy Garoppolo as their backup quarterback as well, and they got Stetson Bennett as their third string quarterback. The Rams are pretty set in the quarterback room. I'm not saying the Rams shouldn't take a quarterback, but do I think they should force a quarterback pick with their first round pick? Absolutely not. The Rams don't even have their second round pick, so if they take a quarterback in the first round, that means they don't even have a chance to take another player until the third round of the NFL draft. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think the Los Angeles Rams are in position to take a guy like Jaxson Dart. Even if they had their second round draft pick, I still don't think it's a good idea for the Rams to take Jaxson Dart. I'm not saying Jaxson Dart and Sean McVay aren't good fits for each other, but I'm saying that the Rams can't really afford to take a quarterback at the current moment, at least with their current draft setup. Obviously, Jaxson Dart is going to probably go to a cold weather team. I'm thinking a team like the Cleveland Browns are going to invest in Jaxson Dart. They're probably going to take Abdul Carter with the second pick, and then they're going to trade up at the bottom of the first round in order to acquire Jaxson Dart in a trade. I think Jaxson Dart has a lot of Baker Mayfield-like qualities. Obviously, the Cleveland Browns had Baker Mayfield on their roster before. Baker Mayfield won a playoff game with the Cleveland Browns, and if you're Jaxson Dart and you have that similar capability to a Baker Mayfield, I think the Cleveland Browns are going to say to themselves, you know what, we got to take a chance on Jaxson Dart at the bottom of the first round. We got to be able to trade up to make sure that we get that fifth-year option for Jaxson Dart. Jaxson Dart has the ability to make all kinds of throws. It's just that his footwork is really crappy and that he doesn't really have the football IQ to last at the NFL level yet. The good news is, though, if you put him in the system like Kevin Stefanski, he's going to do really good, because I think Jaxson Dart is going to have to be able to learn how to play under center and execute the play-action passing game really well. Let's take advantage of stacking the box, so that way Jaxson Dart is going to have open windows to throw when throwing the deep ball. I'm not saying Jaxson Dart has a weak arm. He obviously has a can for an arm, but I'm saying Jaxson Dart's game is going to be based off of being able to run the football with his running backs and being able to run play action RPO games. If he can do that, then I think Jaxson Dart will become the best version of himself, which is ultimately what Jaxson Dart wants when you talk about his professional career. When I talk about quarterbacks ranked in this draft class, Jaxson Dart is probably something along the lines of quarterback 2 or quarterback 3. I don't think he's a better quarterback than Shedeur Sanders, but do I think he can be a better quarterback than Cam Ward at the NFL level? Absolutely. I still think he has to sit on the bench for a year, but you know what? If Jaxson Dart balls out in his rookie year, I'm not going to have any complaints for Jaxson Dart whatsoever. I think the guy has the potential to be a really good quarterback. It's just a matter of what team will draft Jaxson Dart and how he will be developed at the NFL level. This is not a plug-and-play situation. This is more so of a, I need to wait and see what team drafts Jaxson Dart so I can see how he progresses at the NFL level. So that is why Jaxson Dart will not become a star at the NFL level, as this game is still too raw to truly be a day one starter in the NFL. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking, like the video, and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That will be for the @DustinSTran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram @DustinSTran, and that's Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter @DustinSTran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video, comment down below, check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel, Sports Guy Talking.